What's up, guys and gals? Mirrormask here. Now, when I first set up, as you guys know, if you watch some of my other videos, I now use two PCs to game recording. I play on this computer and I record with a secondary computer with a capture card, which is more specifically the Roxio Game Capture HD Pro. Now, I normally use OBS, and I could not. I tried doing the screen region captures and it just looked utter crap. So I found out a way to use Xsplit, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you guys how to use the Roxio capture card with Xsplit, and then if you want to live stream it with kind of lower bandwidth, like me, I have really low upload speed, and I'm not able to live stream with Xsplit because it will not allow me to drop audio quality down further than a certain level, but OBS does allow it. So I'm going to walk you guys through the settings that I did on Xsplit and OBS to allow me to both make really good quality recordings, get the audio from the microphone, the video from the webcam, which are hooked up to the recording PC, to match the audio and game capture that comes from the Roxio. Because if you've ever used capture cards, and maybe if you haven't used capture cards and you're new to capture cards, you don't realize this, but some capture cards put a delay in the video feed, and it's because they're encoding the video on the card before it sends it to the actual PC. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to make it super quick. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but basically, in order for this to work, you will need Xsplit and the Roxio software. If you'd like to live stream at lower bandwidth and have better video quality, because you can lower the audio quality, you'll also need OBS. Now, to get started, I'm going to go ahead and open up my Roxio software and drag it to this screen right here, so it's being recorded. Alright, first thing you need to do is load this software, hit capture, and what this does is it enables the driver for the capture card to turn on, and that way Xsplit can then see it. Sometimes I'll turn on Xsplit and it will detect the capture card and get. Most of the time it doesn't. I have to come in, open this software first, then open Xsplit after I've closed it. The driver has been initialized, and see it says ready right here, so we're good to go. Close this, and then I'll come over here and we can open up Xsplit. Alright, there we go. Now it's initializing, and there. Now I'll drag it onto this screen. Now, as you guys can see, the webcam will be delayed because I do have a delay set on it. As you can see, if I move my hand like this on the video and then stop, it's still going on the camera. And that's because there's a delay that I had to set for it. So first things first, to get the audio from the capture card, make sure to enable the HDMI audio output and stuff from the one computer to send it over HDMI cable through the capture card, and then listen to it on the second computer. Now, real briefly, what I did is on my webcam, and you can kind of like test around a little bit, you know, like wave your hands and then count how many seconds till the camera moves on Xsplit, and then you can kind of get an idea of what the delay is, or not the camera, excuse me, the game movement. For me, it happens to be around 2 seconds, so I will go ahead and open this up. The cam, I actually fine-tuned it down to 1700 milliseconds. Where you put that in at is right here in delay. On your camera feed, you delay it to match the game capture card feed. Alright, and then you go up here to Tools, you go to Game Settings, you select your microphone, which is this microphone right here, the R2500, and then the audio delay. What I found is that my audio delay is a slightly higher number in millisecond than the video, not by much. I had 1700 milliseconds on the camera delay and then 1800 milliseconds on the audio delay. Now these two settings, you'll just kind of have to play around with them. It's not the same for everyone. I watched one other video, I cannot remember the guy's name, it's something whiskey, but his delay settings were 2000. Mine aren't 2000, mine are 1800 for the audio, 1700 for the video. And then once all that's put in, then you can lay all your little pretty stuff in here, like your tags and all that stuff. And then that's basically it. You load the Roxio software up first to enable the driver. Then you close all that down. Then you open Xsplit and you bring it in as a webcam feed. As you can see right here, I have this coming in as a camera feed. I selected the Roxio capture card from the camera feed. Now, another thing that you can do if you want to stream in low bandwidth, for example, on OBS right here. I'm using OBS to record this. Now, as you can see, the video feed, moving this window around and everything. Video feed, you may say, wait a second. Okay, so you've got all this stuff. Xsplit's doing all the work for you. How did you get it into OBS? Well, some people overlook, if you go to general settings right here, enable virtual camera output. Check that, and what that does is it puts everything, the audio, everything that's running through Xsplit, it sends it out as a webcam feed. Now, you can do this if you want to match all your audio and webcam and stuff up in OBS and you don't want to use Xsplit for your recordings or anything like that. That's fine. You can still do it the same method. What you would do in that case is bring in the capture card feed into Xsplit and have that be the only thing you bring into Xsplit. And then enable the virtual camera feed and then bring the camera feed in right here. As you can see, video capture device. We'll go to properties. So, I mean, I'm just showing you right here in general. In devices, there it is, Xsplit Broadcaster. That's the camera feed from Xsplit Broadcaster. Now, I'm using a monitor capture for this for right now, so I can capture. That's how you would bring it in. You would bring it in by selecting Xsplit Broadcaster as the camera feed, and then it would just show up as a webcam feed, except it's what's in the broadcaster window in Xsplit. Then you can use OBS. Then you can use OBS to put in all your little pretty stuff like I have up here, and I use Xsplit to record broadcaster. Now, if you go into your broadcaster settings in Xsplit, as you can see, the lowest bitrate audio that you can go is 90. But in OBS, go into settings. I hope all this is capturing. In encoding, you can actually drop the bitrate all the way down to 40. So what that allows you to do is you can squeeze an extra roughly 50 kilobits per second, take it away from the audio quality and put it towards the video quality. Now, in my case, that helps a lot because my upload sucks. I can live stream 480p 15 frames per second. I can live stream 360 at about 20 to 25 frames per second, which is not too terrible. I mean, people will watch a 15 frame per second video feed. Sounds worse than it actually looks, but I have a total I can max out at about 500 kilobits per second on my upload, and that leaves me a little leeway to do other things like play the game and stuff like that. Well, with that 500, if for example I was using XSplit and I had to set the audio to 96, well, that only leaves me 404 kilobits per second to go towards the video feed. Whereas if I run it as a webcam feed into OBS and lower the audio quality, that gives me, lower it to 48, that gives me 452 kilobits. That gives me an additional roughly 50 kilobits per second to put towards the video and take it away from the audio. So you can bump up the quality of your video by 50 kilobits per second, which I know is not all that great, but I mean, 50 kilobits per second is a lot when you're talking about a 500 kilobit per second upload. But anyway, that's how I've got my whole system set up in a nutshell. I run the capture card with the audio and video coming from my gaming system to the recording PC. Then I run it through Roxio, their software, in order to enable the driver. Then I close all that. Then I bring it into Xsplit. Then I put all my little fancy things up and all that stuff. And I set the audio timing. Remember, it's very important to try to fine-tune the audio and video as much as possible to where it's in sync. Now, the best thing that you can do, for example, I was playing Loadout when I was syncing everything up, and I would point my gun at the ground, and I would say fire, hit the mouse button, and be recording it with the webcam all at the same time. And that's what I did. That's what I used to sync it all up, so that when I kept playing the video back to fine tune it, I got it to where I said fire, my lips moved, you heard the word fire, and the gun fired in the game, and the audio from the game all happened roughly at the same time, give or take a split millisecond. But it's all pretty much tuned with itself, and that's the method I used to tune everything all together and sync it all up. I hope this video has helped you guys out. I know, like, the knowledge out there for using a second recording PC is not that abundant. It's not like, you know, using a single computer. There's so much information out there, but you run into all kinds of issues that I didn't realize I was going to run into. I mean, I'm a pretty smart person. I'm pretty computer savvy, but man, when it came to doing this, it was like a whole different ball game, because all of a sudden you've got all this audio and video syncing issues and all this problem that you change this one setting, now this doesn't work correctly, you change this, now this and this work, but something else is messed up, and it took a good few days to really get it all how I wanted it. And then I was sitting around and I was like, dang, you know, I want to live stream a little bit, but I can't get the quality I want out of XSplit that I had when I had OBS. And I remembered the webcam, the virtual webcam feature, so I turned that on, and sure enough, I brought it into Open Broadcaster. It worked fine, and I'm able to live quality and settings that I usually live stream with and everything. The quality of the stream doesn't take, I mean, of the video feed coming into OBS does take a small, minute quality hit, just because you're going from a capture card into XSplit, out of XSplit into another piece of software, and every time you jump from software to software, you lose just a teeny tiny bit of quality, but not noticeable unless you're looking at them side by side and really being. Yeah, I hope this has helped you guys out. I hope I've helped you learn something here, or I've taught. If I have, leave it in the comments below. If you got any questions, you know, I just spent the last 3 or 4 days setting this up, so it's still pretty fresh in my mind. So I'll be happy to try to help answer any questions that I can if you guys have any. That's pretty much it. You guys make sure to share the video, like, comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. And you guys take care.